the epic of Shibam Hadhramaut, the sovereignty of mud and the grandeur of the mind. In the beginning, there was only the valley, a vast expanse of silence and stone under a sun that never sets. Centuries before, modern civilization began laying its concrete foundations, and long before skyscrapers rose in New York or Chicago, there were men in the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, specifically in the wilderness of Yemen, writing an unprecedented chapter in the history of human architecture. Look closely at this towering horizon. These fortresses touching the skies of Hadhramaut are not solid stones, nor are they rocks carved by the wind through the ages. This is Shibam Hadhramaut, the miracle that harnessed dust to become pride and turned forgotten straw into a fortress. Before we dive into this journey, we invite you to join the School of Greats. Activate the bell, like, and share the video. Today they call it the Manhattan of the desert, but in its deepest truth, it is the shout of mud in the face of extinction. Here in Wadi Hadhramaut, where the sun scorches everything green and dry, the Yemeni person decided not to surrender to the harshness of geography. They built their own paradise, not with abundant wealth, but with the sweat of the brow and the clay of the earth. How did this legend begin, and who are these greats who laid the first brick of mud in the depths of this majestic valley? These skyscrapers you see are not pillars of magic. They are a body of clay and a soul of sweat. How did this dust we tread upon transform into a cry of pride to which the winds bow? The journey began with contemplation. The first Yemeni architect did not possess engineering maps, but he possessed clay insight. He looked at the valley and saw not dust in the earth, but a precious trust waiting for someone to reveal its secret. He knew that this land, which gave him incense and frankincense, would also give him the secret of survival. In the early morning, the architect stands amidst the clay kilns. He doesn't just look, he tastes the clay, rubs it between his palms and smells its scent. He was searching for moist clay, neither dry so it breaks, nor too wet so it collapses. He was looking for the perfect viscosity that turned every brick into a solid stone without being touched by fire. In those moments, the architect was not just a builder, he was an alchemist of the earth. Travel with us now through these insightful details to witness how this clay was mixed with straw, and how Yemeni feet trod upon it to be a prayer for survival before it was physical labor. Listen to those chants that accompanied every movement, as if telling the earth that the one building it is a human who knows no impossible. How has this clay withstood the ravages of time for centuries? The secret lies in those tanned hands that knew how to tame the material. It was not ordinary clay, it was kneaded with straw and water and left to ferment under the scorching sun until it acquired a hardness rivaling rock and a flexibility that defied imagination. The madar, or mud bricks, were made with love and dried with patience, because the ancestors realized that a house in Shibam is not just a shelter, but a fortress that breathes. Skyscrapers, height by necessity and creativity by choice. Look at those heights reaching 8 stories or more. The person of Shibam did not build high for vanity. It was the intelligence of the place that imposed it. Due to limited space within the city's defensive walls, the only solution was to escape toward the sky. The broad base, houses begin with very thick walls at the bottom, like the roots of a palm tree striking deep into the earth. Then they begin to shed their weight as we rise higher, becoming more delicate and fluid. The windows, or mashrabiyah, were not just for light. They were the lungs of the city, letting in the breeze while maintaining privacy. The white coating, or nura, that crowns the tops of the houses is not just for beauty, it is a shield that protects the clay peaks from rain erosion and reflects the sun's rays to keep the houses cool inside, no matter how the outside burns. A society behind the walls. In this part of the beginning, we discover that every house in Shibam is a small city. The ground floors for livestock and stores, the middle for living, and the upper for guests and evening gatherings under the moonlight. It is a design that sanctifies privacy as much as it sanctifies connection. The hand-carved wooden doors are not just entrances, they are personal identities, telling the history of the families who lived here for centuries.